you with it, drop it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of the Self Revolution podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Mboyoti Mujala, and I'm here with Salifyanji, who is the founder of Matamando Foundation. Salifyanji, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm Boyoti. I'm all right, thanks. And how are you doing?
I'm good. So, today's topic will be based on the same foundation, Matamando Foundation. So we'll have to know more about what Matamando Foundation is, and maybe we might get one or two things. Who knows? Yeah. So so is Matamando Foundation like a charity organization or something?
Okay. So to start with, Matamando Foundation is a charity organization, like you put it,
Yes.
and our main aims and objectives
Okay.
are to enhance menstrual hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So generally, our primary objective is in enhancing menstrual hygiene amongst adolescent girls.
Okay.
So this is because, like basic needs, an adolescent girl needs sanitary towels,
Mm-hmm.
needs menstrual hygiene management skills
Yes.
for them to just thrive when it's that time of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, our primary objective as a foundation is to enhance menstrual hygiene by donating sanitary towels,
Mhm.
offering menstrual hygiene education,
Yes.
as well as providing them with the right equipment or the right items that they need when they are on that period,
Okay.
right? So that does not do away the fact that we also have secondary objectives.
Okay.
So our secondary objective is to help the less privileged.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to orphanages, we visit elderly homes, we have Christmas donations or celebrations. So basically, it is a charity organization.
Okay. And I believe a charity organization is non-governmental organization and a non-profit making organization. Okay. So you focused when you were introducing the foundation. If I heard you right, mainly you were talking about menstrual hygiene. So does it only focus on the girl child, or you also focus on the boy child as well?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that question.
Okay.
So, being an organization that deals with menstrual hygiene,
Mm-hmm.
we then get to understand that menstrual hygiene only or favors the girl child.
Yes.
However, one thing that we have realized is that we have a lot of traditional myths that surround menstrual hygiene.
Yes.
So we cannot really do away with these myths if we only focus on the girl child.
Okay.
Yeah, so what do we then do is that another problem that we might face with this challenge is that it's difficult to bring girls and boys in one room
Okay.
where
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
just talk about menstrual hygiene,
Yes.
because then
Exactly.
they'll feel uncomfortable. They're
Yeah.
like, why are
Yeah.
we talking about this? I don't
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So what we then do is that, so dependent on where we're going, if
Mm-hmm.
we're going to go to uh, maybe if we're going to go to a place where there are only girls, it's
Mm-hmm.
easy for us to only offer menstrual
Menstrual
hygiene
hygiene.
to the girls because it relates to them.
Yes.
However, if we're going to go to a place that has guys inclusive, meaning we
Yes.
have to broaden
The,
our boundaries,
mm-hmm.
because then we're not only going to go there with pads. I mean, it won't
Okay.
benefit the guys.
Yes.
However, we want to be able to create an environment where it's not a taboo for your brother to get you sanitary towels.
Oh, right.
You know,
Right.
we
Yeah.
want to create an environment where a girl child can talk to her daddy that, daddy, I need sanitary towels, and it's not
Yes.
a taboo.
Mm-hmm.
So in so doing, we then try, if we're going to go to a place where there are going to be boys and girls,
Mm-hmm.
then the conversation then shifts. We have to incorporate so many other things that will also interest the boy child.
Okay.
So how do we then do that? We have financial literacy, we have personal development. So we have had less of such outreach programs where we have guys and the girls.
Okay.
Yeah. But in an event where we go to such a place, then we have to also be able to incorporate other discussions that will also benefit the boy child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like that you try to incorporate both the boy child and the girl child. And yeah, I believe most people say, no, your brother can't know when you're on your periods. No, your father doesn't have to know when you're on your periods. But then it's not supposed to be like that. What happens if you're only home with your brother or your father. So it has to be something that's normal to talk about. Okay, so why the name Matamando Foundation?
Why Matamando Foundation? Okay,
Yes.
so for me, I love traditional names. I
Okay.
mean, Salifyanji,
Clearly.
Buyoti.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I came up with the name, I remember I had a whole list of name options.
Mm-hmm.
I remember talking to my best friend, shout out to Marcela. I texted her, I'm like, I'm picking a name for my foundation, but I
Yeah.
don't know what name it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, we even had that six saved. We had so many other English names.
Yeah.
Then I knew I really wanted something that was going to speak to what we were doing, but I didn't know what
What
really.
exactly?
Yeah. Then I don't know. I feel it's the Holy Spirit. All of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, I just thought of Matamando.
Okay.
Then I'm like, what does Matamando mean? So
Mm-hmm.
Matamando means praise. Okay, so
Yes.
why praise?
Mm-hmm.
So then it got me to a space where I told myself to say, there'll be a point when Matamando Foundation is going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be this big organization that's
Yeah.
reaching out to Africa, to the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to take the glory. I don't
Okay.
want to be, no, Salifyanji is the one
Did that.
helping all these other
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
So mostly, I want everywhere that we go, I tell people to say Matamando is far beyond the faces that you're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that we're able to do is because of God, because God
Mm-hmm.
is the one who puts us in a position to be
To
able
help
to help out.
others. Yeah.
So when we do what we do, when we come and reach out to you, when we
Mm-hmm.
come and bring the groceries, and when we come and bring the sanitary towels, the praise should be to God and the glory should be to God. So Matamando just speaks to praise the Lord. Whatever
Okay.
that we do, all the praise goes to God.
Well, we glorify God for that.
Amen.
Yeah. So, what inspired you to start this organization, or rather foundation?
Okay.
Yeah.
What inspired me to start Matamando Foundation? So growing up,
Mm-hmm.
I'll backdate.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been someone who's had a helping heart.
Okay.
I love to give.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's one of the things that makes me very happy.
Mm.
I don't like seeing people in need. I feel so sad if someone doesn't have something.
Okay.
And
And you're able to help.
yes.
Okay.
So growing up, I've always been that child. If my mom was here, I always say this story should have said. So when I was growing up,
Mm-hmm.
if maybe my friend doesn't have a dress and I
Yes.
have a dress, I'll
Mm-hmm.
just go and get that dress
And give
and
it
give
to.
it to my friend. Then my
Yeah.
mom would be like, "Where's that red dress that you had?" And it's not there.
Yeah.
So there's this time around, I had a bathing towel, and my
Mm-hmm.
friend didn't have in the
Okay.
community that I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't grow up. I come from a very humble background.
Okay.
I didn't have everything as a child,
Mm-hmm.
but even the little that I had,
You were
I
able to
just
share.
wanted to share it with
Mm-hmm.
someone else. So a time came when I had a bathing towel and my friend did not have.
Okay.
I went to my room, got the bathing towel, and took it. Time to bath, Sally has no bathing towel. My mom. I think that day she was upset because why did you take it? Then she told me, she's like, Sally, it's okay to give.
But
You also have to know what you are giving. Are you going to give out everything, and what are you going to remain with?
yeah.
So I've learned that I don't have to have everything to be able to give.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a scripture that I like in the Bible. I think it's in Philippians. It says, not that I'm speaking of being in need,
Mm-hmm.
but I know how it feels to have plenty and I know how it feels to have nothing. But
Okay.
in all things, I have learned to be content.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm content with what I have, and I believe what I have can be used to also help others.
Okay.
So basically, it came from that. Even when I grew up, when I went to university, I knew that I was going to start up something. I
Yeah.
just didn't know what.
Exactly.
And I just
Okay.
didn't know how to start.
Okay.
So until 2021, when we closed in December, I was
Mm-hmm.
there just sleeping. And I had a journal that I wrote down. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
want to have this foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And, if that's why, if you heard me right, we have the primary objective that's menstrual hygiene.
Yes.
So I realized that it's easy to buy pads.
Yes.
Pads are not very expensive.
No, they're not.
So if I'm able to bring people together, we make our contributions, we
Mm-hmm.
buy sanitary towels and we
Yes.
take, it's actually very easy.
Yes.
But at the back of my mind, I knew, I'm like, Matamando not only dwell on pads.
Yes.
We're going to expand. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to be able to buy groceries for an
Yeah.
orphanage. We're going to be able to take people to school.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the menstrual hygiene was just my starting point to enter this
Okay.
journey. So that even when we have more money, when we have more sponsors, when we have more partners, we are able to just expand our boundaries.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example of the previous outreach that we had. We had an outreach on Saturday.
Okay.
So it didn't have, we had the sanitary towels, but because God is awesome,
Yes.
we had so much support from people who are interested. They helped
Yes.
us out. We
Mhm.
raised enough money for us to buy pads, and we also bought groceries.
Okay.
We bought mealie meal, we bought, rice and all these other
Yes.
things. So coming from a place where we're only able to buy 26 pads to
Mhm.
26 girls in Kabwata
Uh-huh.
and going to a place where we were able to buy groceries, for
As
me,
well,
all I
yeah.
see is just growth. And
Yeah.
so my passion came from giving, and I know that far beyond the sanitary towels, far beyond the groceries,
Mhm.
we'll be able to bring hope to the whole place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as we've heard, good people still exist. Yeah. People keep saying no, we're living in a cruel world, but good people also still exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the mission or your vision when it comes to Matamando Foundation? What's your main goal and your vision?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see our posters
Mm-hmm.
anyway, we move by, it's the mission or vision. Okay. So we say Matamando Foundation, whose aim is to enhance menstrual hygiene
Mm-hmm.
amongst adolescent girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then our mission statement is so our mission statement is then to enhance dignity and bodily integrity.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but far beyond the menstrual hygiene and far beyond what we primarily do.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a whole vision of just being able to just bring hope to the whole place and just
Okay.
help out whenever we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite interesting.
Mm.
Well, you're forcing me to join Matamando Foundation.
Please do. You're very much welcome. Please join
Okay.
us.
So I believe every organization or in every setup there has to be some people spearheading that thing. Yeah. So can you describe your organizational leadership team? Like what are the roles? What roles do those people play and all those things?
Okay, thank you so much. So when we began,
Mm-hmm.
so I forgot to mention this part. So we began in 2022. That's
Okay.
the first time we had our first outreach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when we just started, because remember, I'll tell my friends to say, "Oh, I want to come up with this. Would you like to be part of the WhatsApp group?"
Yes.
So my friends were like, "Yes, I'd like to be part of the WhatsApp group." So I added some people to a WhatsApp group.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was the only one who was doing everything,
Yeah.
Like I was the founder, I
Oh.
was the errand girl, I was the what, but I
Uh-huh.
definitely wasn't the finance.
Okay.
Because then I knew I'm like, when I'm just broke, I might end up losing my money.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, I want to be able to separate my money from the
The
foundation
organization
money.
money. Okay.
Yes. So for the longest period of time, I was just operating as a sole um I want to say proprietor, but it's okay. As a sole proprietor, I'll do
Okay.
everything, I'll run everything and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. However, now as it stands, we have a structure.
Okay.
So I, Salifyanji Kaunga,
Mm-hmm.
I'm only the chairperson and the founder.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we have the finance department. So we have
Okay.
two people who spearhead
The
the finance
finance department.
department. Then we also have a secretary. We have we have a secretary. Am I supposed to mention their names?
No,
Okay,
not
just
really.
a structure. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have the secretary,
Mm-hmm.
then we also have the operations department.
Okay.
So for the operations department, these are people who are in charge of ensuring that everything that Matamando does really comes to a successful bearing.
Okay.
So these people are in charge of finding the place we're going to.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in charge of the groundwork
Okay.
operations. You have to go find an orphanage that we're going to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to talk to the people.
Know what they need.
Yes, know what they need. And also, when we get all the contributions as the operations are the ones in charge of running the errands,
Okay.
yeah, they have to run the errands. They have to ensure that, okay, these things are bought and we're
Mm-hmm.
set for the
The
outreach.
outreach.
Yeah, then we also have the creative department. So
Okay.
the creative department has everything in it.
Mm-hmm.
We have things like mental health,
Mm-hmm.
we have sex education, we
Okay.
have financial literacy,
Mm-hmm.
we also have, what's the other? creative department. Okay, personal development. So personal development, that's why we have things like career talks, career guidance. Yeah, so sex education, just for me to just talk about all these other things.
Yeah.
So that's the creative department. We also have a fundraising department. So this department is in charge of the money making business, because then we're like, okay, we need to grow as a foundation, we need to
Yes.
enlarge. So that the ones who are in charge of coming up with activities that will help us fundraise.
Okay.
And we also have the media department that they run our socials,
Yeah.
YouTube, Facebook. Yeah. Yes, I think that's how we are
Okay.
this far. That's our
So
structure.
do you plan on having more people? Do you plan on having more people?
More people
As
part of the
in
foundation or the structure?
the foundation and the structure.
Yes. That's a future plan.
Okay.
Because then we were looking at what are the pressing needs now. And as the chairperson now and as the founder, I was getting overwhelmed because I had to do everything by myself. So we then now had to look at, okay, what really are we working on? What are we currently working on as a team? And what are the appropriate positions that must be there? So the current structure only speaks to what we are doing right now, but definitely we're going to enlarge rather our structure also, so that we're able to incorporate other positions that are necessary. Then team, in terms of members, I think we need as many people as possible.
Okay.
We can't say we've reached a point where we don't want any more people.
Yeah.
We still need them. We still want as many people as we can possibly get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have like a criteria in which you choose the people to be part of the structure, or rather just like the members, or anyone is free to join?
Okay. So as it stands now, we are currently only working with the members,
Okay.
because I believe that if you're a member of the foundation, you then know how we can work better.
Okay.
So we had a capacity building meeting,
Okay.
I think 2 weeks ago. So when we went for that meeting, then we were saying, okay, because we had a moment where we had to brainstorm. So a member of Matamando Foundation is in the best position to know where we're lagging behind.
Yeah.
Because they're able to say, okay, this is missing and this is okay.
Yes.
So even for you to take up a position, we need to know that you're invested in the foundation. We need to know that you're able to push the agenda, you believe in the vision, and you're ready to work. So I feel getting someone from outside would be a bit difficult now, because they really don't know where we are at as a foundation, and they also don't know what we need.
Okay.
So we currently just work with the members to take a position. And we then, for the chairperson, the members had to vote. So the people who came for that particular meeting are the ones who had to vote for who should be the chairperson.
Okay.
Yeah. Then for other positions, we wanted someone who's passionate. If you are passionate about media, you like content creation, I think you can thrive more in the media department, unlike operations.
Yeah.
Then the other people who would say, oh, I like making things happen. So I think the operations department is the it for me. So based on what you like and what you're passionate about, it's easy for you to take up a role and work at the best of your ability.
Oh, okay. I see. What have been your biggest challenges as a foundation?
Biggest challenges.
Yeah.
Commitment.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and if you look at our WhatsApp group, it has a lot of numbers.
Okay,
We
but
have a
people are
lot of
not
members, but
committed.
people are not committed. So
Okay.
it's like we have a lot of ghost members, and if maybe you want the team to suggest something, only a few participate.
And that's why I asked if you have a criteria in which you allow people to be members, because people just want to be a part of something, but they don't want to work.
Okay. I think I
deliver.
missed that part of your question.
Okay.
So one thing that I've realized is that, for example, I post what the foundation does, right?
Yeah.
On WhatsApp, and then someone is interested. So they, I would like to join this group. So you add them to the group. But as time goes on, you just realize that they are ghost members. They're not even doing anything.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we're currently working on is a membership form.
Okay.
Yeah, because we now want to make people commit before they join the foundation. So we're going to have a Google form where if you want to be a member, you first have to fill in the form. We
Mm-hmm.
know why you want to join and what has
Yes.
inspired you.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's one thing that we're currently working on,
Mm-hmm.
so that we're able, I think from now onwards going forward, because I believe the department, the media department is currently working on that.
Okay.
So when that is established, then we'll be able to see why this particular person wants to be
join.
part of the
Okay.
team.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I've realized, so someone at the meeting mentioned something very important. They said sometimes you might have ghost members in the group, but that does not mean they don't want to be part of the team.
Okay.
So it's a 50-50 thing. Some
Yeah.
people are just ghost members, and some
Okay.
people are just not maybe active. They don't want to participate in the group.
Okay.
So also we have learned to really try to understand the
Okay.
people we are dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are then just going to react just because someone doesn't respond to your messages,
Yeah.
someone doesn't come for outreach programs,
Mm-hmm.
you might end up removing someone who's very important to the team.
Yes.
So we are trying to also understand that there are different personalities that we are working on.
Okay.
So apart from lack of commitment from other members,
Mm-hmm.
the other thing is finances.
Yeah.
There are certain times when the contributions are very slow,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard for us to have an outreach program. But I
Yeah.
must attest that since we started, there are certain times when the finances are not promising, but there's
Okay.
never been a day that we've postponed because of
Oh.
finances.
Okay.
So, but finances are also a challenge because there
Mm-hmm.
are so many other things that we'd like to do.
Okay.
We'd like to go for village missions,
Uh-huh.
go in the outskirts of Lusaka,
Yeah.
to take menstrual hygiene,
Mm-hmm.
education, and whatnot. But the finances.
Okay.
So that's basically what we've been struggling with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have like a primary source of the same finances or funding, or it's just based on how much people contribute, how much people are willing to contribute, or something?
So we currently don't have any primary source. So
Okay.
it's non-funded. Whatever we do is based on what we have as
Okay.
members.
Mm-hmm.
So we just all contribute. We don't have a fixed contribution amount.
Okay.
So it depends on what you have and what
Mm-hmm.
you're willing to give out.
Okay.
So currently we have no primary source. Hopefully by next year we'd like to apply for grants and be
Mm-hmm.
able to apply for sponsorship and
Yeah.
whatnot. But as it stands, we are not funded.
Okay. So what are your financial goals as a foundation? Yeah. So how do you plan on having the primary funding and all those things, apart from applying for grants and
Okay. So from the fundraising department, since I'm not in that department, but this is something they have told me.
yeah.
So they would like to venture into some activities that will fundraise.
Okay.
One of which I can remember is, so we have Matamando t-shirts, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That are the ones, I'm sure you've seen them
Mm-hmm.
around. So we'd like to invest in those ones because
Mm-hmm.
when you wear it, everyone is like, "Oh my God, it's a beautiful shirt!"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
why can't I also buy and
Uh-huh.
whatnot?
Uh-huh.
So one of the ways that we're going to raise our finances is just also by investing in a lot of t-shirts and then selling them to everyone. So
Okay.
this will also encompass non-members.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you're not part of the foundation, you like the t-shirt, we'll be able to sell it to you because
Mm-hmm.
then we're going to be adding money to our coffers.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other way that we plan on raising, before we didn't have a membership fee,
Oh, okay.
subscription fee.
Uh-huh.
So we then realized that the foundation coffers had nothing in them.
Yeah.
So what can we then do? Let's have a membership fee.
Yeah.
So that every person is able to contribute a certain amount to the foundation,
Okay.
and that money is strictly just going to be in the account for emergencies
Oh,
and
yeah.
whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
far from the contributions that we get.
Okay.
Yeah. So the other activities that we're planning on having is a fundraising dinner.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's in the pipeline. We're planning on partnering with someone who runs a restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we're able to just go there and just call people to just come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's one of the ways that the fundraising team has.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're currently working on those things.
So how do you measure the effectiveness and impact of your foundation?
Okay, so we don't really have one place that we go to.
Mm-hmm.
We go to a number of places.
Yes.
So I remember the first time that I think I mentioned this part, the first time we started our outreach program, we went to Fountain of Hope,
Okay.
and then we only reached out to 26 girls.
Okay.
So we bought pads, bathing soap, and a roll of tissue. So each person was getting a whole kit,
Okay.
So looking back now from where we're coming from buying 26 pads, the next outreach program we reached out to 60 girls. The next one, we went to 150 girls. So we've just been really growing, and we are able to see the progress because mostly since we alternate, so when we go, the first time we were going to all those places,
Yeah.
people were a bit timid, they were
Yeah.
quiet,
Uh-huh.
they were not really expressing themselves like
Yeah.
they are supposed to,
Uh-huh.
and other people are not asking questions, so
Yeah.
they were just, uptight and whatnot. But the times that we have gone back, some
Yeah.
days we were just like, okay, we're just coming to see it, and you guys will teach us.
Okay.
The girls that we go to, they're able to remember what we taught them, they're
Yes.
able to apply it.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, that really measures how much we have grown as a foundation and how effective our lessons have been.
Okay.
So far from the menstrual hygiene, like I mentioned, remember I was saying the creative department?
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
we go for every outreach program, we have different activities. There's
Okay.
personal development,
Yeah.
there's career talk, there's mental health, there's financial literacy.
Yeah.
So all these things, when we go back then, we're able to. I remember this time we went to Mateo, we went to Rise Up House,
Okay.
and during the financial literacy session, we were giving out piggy banks.
Okay.
So we said, okay, the next time we're coming, we should be able to find that you people have saved
Saved.
up and whatnot. So for us,
Yes.
when we go back, we're able to chart, say, okay, this is different from the first time that we came here. And for us,
Okay.
that really measures how we've grown.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how do you define success as a foundation? Yeah.
How do you define success? Currently, every outreach is
A
a success
success.
for
Okay.
us. So when we are able to pull up, even after
Uh-huh.
the challenges that we had,
Yeah.
even though there's certain times when only 5 members are present for an outreach.
Okay.
But as long as we've delivered, as long
Mm-hmm.
as we've taught, as long as we've
Yes.
engaged with the children,
Mm-hmm.
for us it's success.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
That's well. I may just find it. That's the start of a foundation as well.
Please
Yeah.
do. Please do.
No. You already did. So yeah, we just join or something.
Yes.
So how have you been able to adapt to changes and setbacks? I believe in everything that someone does, there has to be like some setbacks or changes. So how have you been able to adapt to those things?
Um, Firstly, changes. I remember when we started,
Uh-huh.
I told one of my friends, and he was interested in the whole idea.
Mm-hmm.
So he helped us in um, running the page.
Okay.
He also helped us in creating posters. He helped
Mm-hmm.
us in doing so many other things.
Yeah.
So there are certain times when you know that okay, there's this particular person who's going to be able to do this thing for you,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden they are not there, maybe
Mm-hmm.
because they are caught up and
Yeah.
whatnot,
Uh-huh.
and an outreach is coming in like 2 weeks and you have no poster,
Uh-huh.
and now I'm like, okay, what are we then going to do?
Yeah.
So what that led us to do is to try and pick new other people who are interested in that particular thing,
Exactly.
because then we already had an established team of people who are in charge of that.
Okay.
So now what then happens when that team is not delivering?
Yeah.
So then it now made us expand, try to
Okay.
ask, okay, who else is interested in this
Mm,
particular thing?
yeah.
How can we then make it better?
Mm-hmm.
So we've learned the art of not slowing down because one person is not there, or
Exactly.
because some people are maybe busy or caught up.
Uh-huh.
So at certain times when we have to move, regardless of who's there, as long as there are people who are interested
Uh-huh.
and the people who are willing to step up. I
Okay.
think that's one of the ways that we have really dealt with changes and setbacks.
Okay.
And it also took, it's not something easy to do, because then you're like, okay, what if this new person does not really deliver?
Yes.
But it also, it's definitely up to you, and you have to be able to take that risk regardless,
Okay.
because change is going to happen regardless, whether you
Yes.
like it or
Or
not.
not.
Yeah. At certain times, I even tell the team, I'm like, There'll be a day when Sally, the founder, is not there.
Exactly.
Is an outreach going to stop because I'm not there? We still need to move.
Yes.
As long as we have a team that's ready and a team that's ready to put their hands on whatever we are putting our hands on, we are going to go regardless.
Exactly. So the goal is to deliver no matter what.
No matter what, we need to deliver.
Exactly. So what advice would you give someone who wants to start a foundation like Matamando Foundation?
My advice would be just that.
Okay.
With whatever you have, just that.
Okay.
Honestly, I think one of the things that also delayed me was thinking, I'm like, I don't have money. I'm still
Exactly.
in school. How am I going to run this and whatnot? But I thank God that I just started regardless. So to any startup, if you are passionate about an organization, if you'd like to help people, my advice to you would just be just start with what you have.
Okay.
Because trust me, God sends in help. And when you just start, do not keep the idea to yourself. Share your idea with a friend, with a family member, The first people I told about Matamando Foundation were my mom, older sister, and my young brother.
Okay.
I told them, guys, I have something to tell you. They're like, are you pregnant? I'm not pregnant,
things.
right? Are you getting married? I'm like, no, I'm not getting married. I want to tell you that, Nifuna Kuyamba Foundation, So I told my mom was like, I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can to help you. Then I told my friends.
Yeah.
So I had a supportive team and far beyond my friends now, because again, you can't just run a foundation with your friends and your family.
Yeah.
God is definitely going to send other helpers that will help you.
Yes.
I've got my uncle whose friends have liked it, they've joined, so it's just been growing. So imagine if I
Okay.
didn't start, all this wouldn't have been there. So if you want
Exactly.
to start, just start with what you have. And one other thing is you will never have enough money. Money is never enough.
It's never enough.
So if you're going to say, I'm waiting until I'm a billionaire or I'm a millionaire,
What if you're
never,
never a billionaire?
then what happens? So
Yeah.
just start.
So I think what I've come to learn in life is that whatever you want to do, the main key or the main thing you have to do is just start. You just have to start. What follows after that is really up to your commitment and how much passion you have for that thing. So whatever you want to do, guys, just start. Start. Whatever
what
it
you
is,
have,
yes,
just
because
start.
you will never really have enough to start, and there's never a right time to start. So just start. So how do you plan on expanding your foundation?
Okay, so how do we plan on expanding our foundation? So one of the things that we are working on is collaborating with many other people that are also in the same space.
Okay.
So because we just deal with the things that I mentioned earlier, one of our ways that we would expand is to have, I would like to be able to work with, or we would like rather, to be able to work with skills like skills hub. I don't know if you've heard of these hubs that are they providing entrepreneurship skills,
Okay, yeah.
public speaking skills, as far as baking skills. So for us, our vision is to be able to say, okay, we are currently going to sponsor 5 girls from Matamando Foundation to go and get a skill.
Okay.
Or we're going to say we're going to an orphanage, we're going to get 5 people, we're taking them to a community school, we're taking them to a school. So for us, we'd like to collaborate with many other people, organizations that are in the business of changing lives.
Okay, yeah.
So that we are able to then expand our borders and be able to help on a larger scale.
Okay. So for the future, what challenges do you anticipate for the future, just in case of anything?
No negative thinking.
No negative. Okay.
Well, but I think of a time when I'll be leaving the country.
Okay. Okay.
It's something that I think about. I'm like, okay, what happens when I'm going to get my master's from the United Kingdom?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the chairperson? Who's going to run with my vision?
Yes.
The way I'm running with it now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that really scares me.
Okay.
Or what then happens when our finance director is no longer able to be our finance director?
Mm-hmm.
Or what will happen when our secretary is so busy with work and she can't be the secretary for the foundation? Those are some of the things that I really look at. Or maybe what then happens when we're able to just be able to raise the funds that we need for the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I've discovered is that a strong foundation, oh, it's not not Matamando, a strong foundation.
Okay, yeah.
That foundation for
Foundation.
yes,
Uh-huh.
the literal foundation.
Yeah.
A strong foundation really helps us to have a strong building.
Okay.
So what we then do is that we are now creating an environment where other members of the foundation are able to take up these roles that we are currently taking up.
Okay.
Because I believe that Matamando Foundation should still be able to run even when the chair is in the UK.
Uh-huh.
We should be able to have a new chairperson. So we
Exactly.
should be able, I as a chairperson, as a founder, should be able to share my vision with everyone else.
Uh-huh.
So that even when I'm not there, people are able to still run with the vision because they
Yes.
know this is Matamando's vision.
Vision,
And
yeah.
it's far beyond Sally. So
Mhm.
whatever we are doing now, it's far beyond me. I want
Mhm.
to be able to equip, and I'm currently equipping everyone that comes to the foundation to say, this is what our vision is. It's
Yeah.
either you're going to run with it or
Or
don't
no.
join at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's currently our position.
Okay. So, what has been what drives your motivation? What has been pushing you to keep going despite the challenges, the obstacles? What has been there to keep you going?
I want to see a better world. I want to
Okay.
see a world with empowered people, both
Mhm.
girls, boys, and empowered in every aspect.
Okay.
Academically empowered,
Mhm.
socially empowered,
Mhm.
mentally empowered, and
Mhm.
just everything that really makes a person to thrive.
Okay.
So even on those days when I'm just not in a good space,
Uh-huh.
I remember, I'll tell you a story.
Uh-huh.
It must have been last year, February.
Mhm.
And that was the time when the foundation was just starting.
Yeah.
I was going through the hardest time of my life in
Mm.
a long time.
Mhm.
And I was broken. Like,
Okay.
I don't even, it's just God that we're still here today.
Yes.
And I remember telling my sister, Taonga, I think you know Taonga Mbewe, right?
Yes. Yes.
I remember telling Taonga, I'm like, Taonga, I want to leave the group for the foundation. Then she told me,
Rache.
is it the foundation that wronged you? Is it the foundation that wronged you,
Uh-huh.
Sally? Then I'm like, guys, like, where you are so broken that you feel everything about you is just broken.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know how to pick up yourself and just
Mhm.
do it because that's something that you want to do.
Mhm.
So she then told me to say, Sally, imagine if you leave the foundation, you're the founder and it's just
Mhm.
a startup.
Mhm.
Who's going to run the vision
Exactly.
for you?
Because no one has the vision that you have.
Yeah, so she
Mhm.
told me those words, and I remember crying throughout that night. And
Mhm.
I was quiet for like a week in the
Mhm.
foundation group. I wasn't saying anything, I
Yeah.
wasn't doing anything
Mhm.
until God just told me, Sally, who knows, maybe this platform will be a platform where you'll be able to share your story
Mhm.
and be able to empower girls who are going through what you are going through.
Yeah.
So for me, even on those days when I feel like not waking up, on those days when I don't have money to even run an outreach, I just tell God, I'm like, God, I want to see a better world. I want to see people who are empowered. I want to see people who are doing better. I want to see everyone succeed.
Yes.
So for me, what drives me is just my ambition to see the world better and
Okay.
just to see people empowered and just to
Mhm.
see a happy world.
Okay. So guys, you've heard whatever you do, don't forget why you started.
Yeah.
Don't forget why you started. Okay. So how do you ensure ethical decision making in the organization or the foundation rather?
Okay, so one of the things that I should say is that we are transparent.
Mhm.
Yeah. So before any decision is made,
Mhm.
uh, we have the executive that must first sit
Okay.
and then be able to discuss and
Mhm.
be able to then communicate to the group.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we have meetings, we have leadership meetings where we sit as leaders
Mhm.
and also be able to make decisions and we brainstorm, find a better way of doing what we want to then do,
Uh-huh.
and then we then take those particular decisions that are made to the group.
Okay.
And one of the things um, that really helps us to make ethical decisions is that there's mostly a huge temptation to want to do everything as a founder because you feel, I'm the one who founded this thing,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
should be able to make these decisions.
Yes.
I can't listen to nobody. I'm the
I have
owner.
the vision.
I have the vision and whatnot.
Yeah.
There are certain times when I have an idea and it's not really a progressive idea. So I
Okay.
have people to say, okay, but this can't work. Why
Uh-huh.
can't we do this?
Yes.
So it really takes, that's why having structures in an organization is very important,
Mm-hmm.
because what that does is that it deters you from doing things that you think are right for you,
Yeah.
because then you have to be able to consider what everyone else thinks.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really ask everyone in the group, because you can't be asking 200 people one question.
Yes,
That's why we
yes.
have leaders in
Mm-hmm.
specific positions that should
Mm-hmm.
be able to help you decide, because
Okay.
then they're now thinking on the majority aspect.
Yes.
So basically, just being able to have a structure
Mm-hmm.
and being able to have people who really guide
Mm-hmm.
has really helped us in that regard.
Okay. So they say no man is an island, guys. So you can't do it alone. You always need people to help you one way or the other. Yeah.
True.
How do you handle conflicts of interest in case of any? Yeah. Because there are times when this person doesn't agree with the other person. So how do you work around that?
Um, Conversations, guys.
Okay.
You need to learn how to conversate,
Mm-hmm.
because honestly, the way we have different faces,
Yeah.
we have different opinions, and
Mm-hmm.
you also have to be able to respect
Another
another
person's
person's
opinion.
opinion.
Yeah.
Because then it will help you resolve conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be rigid. You
Yeah.
can't make the right decisions all the
Always.
time.
Yeah.
There are also certain times when my decisions are not right.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have learned the art of asking and
Mm-hmm.
listening.
Okay.
Be able to listen and understand,
Uh-huh.
and say, okay, in as much as we have these different opinions, that
Uh-huh.
does not mean we're enemies.
Yeah.
That does not
Sure.
mean you should leave the foundation because we can't agree.
Yeah.
We need to be able to sort them out. Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk things through
Yeah.
and be able to just grow and learn from one another. I
Exactly.
think that's the way that we have learned how to resolve our conflicts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in case someone wants to reach out to you, someone wants to offer a helping hand. So how do they reach you? Your socials.
Okay, so firstly, if you want to reach the founder, who is my username on Facebook is Salifyanji, Sally space Fyanji.
Okay.
That's my Facebook. Then we also have a page.
Yeah.
The foundation has a page, Matamando Foundation. Please like our page, share it.
Okay. I'll
Like
do
our
so.
page and share it.
I'll do so.
Then on LinkedIn, Salifyanji Kaunga.
Okay.
Yes, and my number then is 0972 598934.
Okay. So guys, in case you want to reach out, in case you want to help, sometimes you don't have to be a member to help. You just have to you just offer a helping hand in one way or the other. Okay, guys. Sadly, we're coming to the end of today's
Oh,
episode. Yeah. Thank you for coming, Salifyanji.
thank you
It's
for
been a
having
pleasure
me.
having you here. We hope to have you next time.
Yes,
Yeah.
then you'll be a member.
Yes. Okay. I've been your host, Mbuyoti Mujala. Don't forget to like and follow the Self Revolution podcast on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.